Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and this is my son James, and we're from Stoke-on-Trent.
Couple number two.
Hello, my name's Pat, and this is my husband Ted, and we're from Thornton Cleveley's near Blackpool.
Couple number three.
Hello, my name is Laurie, and this is my friend Liz. We're both from Bridgend.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, my name's Laura, and this is my big brother Matthew, and we're from Belfast.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks very much, all of you. A very warm welcome to Pointless. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, our series regular. And I can assure you that's the only time in his life he's ever been referred to as regular. It's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
And to you.
Two lovely returning pairs today. We didn't see too much of them last time. We've got Liz and Laurie got knocked out in round one. Be nice to see a bit more of them. And Matthew and Laura on podium 4 once again. They got knocked out in round 2 as well. And Serge and Parry got through to the final round last time. And I liked them very much, Serge and Parry. They were smart, weren't they?
They were.
They did very well all the way through. But it has to be said, they did fluke the jackpot.
Kind
of, didn't they?
Not,
but I was
yeah.
delighted for them. £2,250. Simply naming it the only racing trainer they'd ever heard of, pretty much. And it seemed to work out for them.
It did, it worked out.
Excellent, they were delighted. I mean, more delighted than these 8 seem about that news.
There we are, thanks. So as you gather, Serge and Parry won the jackpot. So today's jackpot starts off at £1,000. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Just remember, everybody, it's the pair with the highest score that gets eliminated at the end of each round. So just make sure you keep your scores nice and low and everything will be great. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category today is global motoring. Can you all decide in your pairs? Who's going to go first? Who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and our question concerns A1 roads around the world and their countries. Richard.
Yeah, all sorts of countries around the world have a road called the A1, as we do. What we're going to show you now are the places you would travel between on various A1s around the world. You just have to tell us the name of the country the road is in. So you'll see 2 places at either end of A1s. Which country are they in, please?
Thanks very much, Richard. Let's reveal our first board of clues. Here they are. Lisbon to Porto, Gaborone to Francistown, Nicosia to Limassol, Paris to Lille, Vilnius to Klaipeda, Vienna to Salzburg, and St. Margrethen to Geneva. Let me read those again. Lisbon to Porto, Gaborone to Francistown, Nicosia to Limassol, Paris to Lille, Vilnius to Klaipeda, Vienna to Salzburg, St. Margrethen to Geneva. These roads are all A1 roads in their various countries, but what other countries? Andrew, welcome to Pointless. Very good to have you here from Stoke-on-Trent. What do you do, Andrew?
I've been retired for 2 years.
What did you do, Andrew?
I used to be a chief executive in the NHS, National Health Service.
Right, you are. And how long have you been doing that? How long was that?
I'd worked in the NHS for about 40 years.
Right, OK. And what fills your retirement? What fills your life with pleasure?
We travel all over the world. We go to lots of places. We've got a bucket list as long as your arm.
OK, how far have you got down your bucket list? Give us some ideas of what things you've done.
So we've been to India. Later on, this year, we're going to South America. We're then going to China and Japan.
OK, very good indeed. Now, Andrew, have you travelled on any of these roads?
I know a few of them. I think I'm going to go for Nicosia to Limassol and say Cyprus.
Cyprus, says Andrew, for Nicosia to Limassol. Let's see if Cyprus is right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Cyprus. It is indeed Cyprus. Down it goes to 39. Not bad at all, Andrew. Gets us off to a good start. 39 for Cyprus.
You know, I said on the last show that Tanzania would be a good name for a sunbed shop.
Yes.
Well, Nicosia would be a good name for an underwear shop.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Ted, welcome. Remind us where you're from, Ted.
Thornton Cleveley's near Blackpool.
Thornton Cleveley's. That's a nice name. Is it as lovely as it sounds, Thornton Cleveley's?
Yes. We live about 300 yards from the beach We spend all the time walking the dog.
Oh, well, what sort of dog have you got?
He's a working Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, I hope I'm not working too hard.
No, try not to.
Good, relaxing working Cocker.
He works us hard, but...
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, that's good. Ted, what do you like getting up to? What are your hobbies?
Well, I'm a retired aerospace engineer, and I'm a hobbyholic. I have far too many hobbies. How I ever found time to work, I'll never know.
What's your favourite of the hobbies?
I'm a radio amateur.
So do you have lots of different radios and transmitters and things dotted around? That's fabulous. Ted, what would you like to go for on this board?
I know quite a few of those. I was going to go for Cyprus. I think I'll go for Vienna to Salzburg and Austria.
Austria, says Ted. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Austria for that particular A1. It's right. 68. 68 for Austria.
I know we said this is an A1 road. It's essentially what countries are places in.
Yeah.
The A1 in Austria is called the A1.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Let me say that again. The A1 in Austria is called the A1.
Still interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Laurie, welcome back. Laurie, tell us more about yourself. More.
More. What more can I reveal about myself? I'm a retired civil servant with an absolute passion for words, music, dance, singing, cats and travel.
Cats
Singing?
the musical or Cats
Both.
the...
Both.
What about that? Singing.
No, I thought she said singing cats.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
I didn't realise there was a comma.
Singing
My cats do sing,
Jo,
especially Purdy.
How many cats have you got?
Just 2.
Excellent. No, Laurie, what are you going to go for on this board?
Such choices. I think I will go for the second one and hope that my #1 ladies detective agency clue is going to help me. Botswana.
Botswana for Gaborone to Francistown. Let's see if Botswana's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It is Botswana. Oh, that's not bad, Laurie. Down it goes to 4. Very well done indeed.
Very well played, Laurie. Perfect example of how general knowledge, we take it from one area and we can put it into another as well. The A1 there, it also goes through Zimbabwe and South Africa, but that's the part in Botswana.
Thank you, Richard. Now, Matthew, welcome back. Good to have you here from Belfast. As you described yourself on the last show, you're a stay-at-home uncle.
Stay-at-home.
You have plenty of interests. Tell us about those.
Well, stay-at-home uncle, I would like to think I'm partly responsible for raising, helping to bring along one of the youngest Pointless super fans ever. My niece, Rosa, never misses a show. She absolutely loves it. And when the contestants get the questions right, she'll clap and cheer. And when they get it wrong and the red 100 comes up with the X, she'll go, boo, 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 boo.
Oh, Matthew, that just adds to the pressure, doesn't it, right now? What other things do you like getting up to, Matthew?
I'm a big fan of horse racing, so I love going to horse racing meetings. Huge football fan, and I really like golf as well. Don't play, but I love watching it.
OK. Now, Matthew, you're the last person to have this board. Do you want to talk us through the blank?
Yeah, Portugal at the top, Lisbon to Porto. Paris to Lille, France. I think the last one's, I think Geneva's Switzerland, is it? Vilnius, my first instinct was Latvia, but I think that's wrong. I think there's another country with an L, so I'm willing to take the gamble. I'm going to say Vilnius is Lithuania.
Lithuania. Oh, God, little Rosa could be shouting, whoa, 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 at the telly any second now. Let's just find out. Lithuania. Is it right? How many people said it? It is Lithuania, of course. That's a great answer. Very well done. 20.
That's the way to play the game, Matthew. Well played, Vilnius. You could have gone for one of the obvious ones, but you took a risk, did exactly the right thing. All the others are much bigger scorers. You're quite right at the bottom. It was Switzerland. Would have scored you 57 points. Right at the top, you were right about Portugal. Scored you 79, and the biggest scorer of all, Harry to Lille, France, 87 points for that. So Botswana, the best answer on the board, And Lithuania, the second best answer on the board.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 4, the best score of the past, Laurie. Well done, Laurie and Liz. 20 is where we find Matthew and Laura. 39, Andrew and James. Then 68 is where we find Ted and Pat. But, you know, anything could happen in the next pass, but a lovely low score from you, Pat. Good luck with that. Maybe that will keep you in the game. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more clues up on the board, and here they come. All of these are A1 roads in their various countries. What are the countries? Zagreb to Split, Amsterdam to Oldenzaal, Madrid to Burgos, Rabat to Tangier, Oldenburg in Holstein to Saarbrücken, Colombo to Kandy, and Milan to Naples. I'll read those again. Zagreb to Split, Amsterdam to Oldenzaal, Madrid to Burgos, Rabat to Tangier, Oldenburg in Holstein to Saarbrücken, Colombo to Kandy, and Milan to Naples. There we are. Laura, welcome back to Pointless. Great score from Matthew in the first pass there. Tell us a bit more about yourself, Laura.
When I'm not taking care of my baby daughter, I mostly like to have friends over and cook for them. I'm in a book club, and I also like to do a lot of art in my spare time. And Matthew and I are actually in the middle of writing a children's book together. So I'm doing the drawings and he's doing the stories.
That sounds fantastic. How's it going? How far have you got?
It's going really good. I think it's sort of based around the alphabet, letters of the alphabet. So Matthew's got about 20 of those done. And I'm
Can I guess the ones you haven't yet done? X, Q, Z,
Yeah,
Y.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well. The others just write themselves, don't they? Yeah. OK, Laura, there you are on 20. What are you going to go for on this board?
OK, I think I'm going to go for the first one, and I think it's Croatia.
Croatia, Zagreb to Split, says Laura. Croatia, there is your red line. If you can get below that red line, you are straight through, even at this early stage of the second pass, straight through to the next round. How many people said Croatia? Look at that, good enough. 33, taking your total up to 53. Very well done.
Very solid from our returning pairs so far. Zagreb is the capital of Croatia.
Thank you very much. So, Liz.
Hi.
Liz. Now, last time we discovered, Liz, that you are very much into caving.
That's correct, yeah.
I was about to say potholing. It's not the same, is it, potholing? Or is it?
No, we like to say caving.
What is potholing?
That's more in and out mines and things in the ground. Caving's really covers the whole sport. All the different
OK,
ways, yeah.
I see. How far have you gone under... Sorry, I'm not going to let this caving thing go. How far have you gone underground?
Oh, well, a round trip can sometimes last 3 to 4 hours. That's the longest one I've been on.
Wow.
But sometimes they spend all day and all night down the caves as well. There's people, camp down there.
So you was like sort of a couple of miles from the...
Yes.
From the hole you came in through?
Oh, about 40 miles worth of caves under our clubhouse.
Amazing for storage, though.
Yeah. That's good.
Isn't it?
Yeah, anyway, so, Liz, there you are on 4. Amazing score from Laurie in the first pass. What are you going to go for?
Well, I think I'm going to take the easy option now because I don't want to let Laurie down. So I think I'm just going to stick and go safe with Madrid to Burgos, Spain.
Madrid to Burgos, Spain, says Liz. Here is your red line. Get below that, and you are through to the next round. How many people said Spain? OK, 86. Well, that's nice and neat. Takes your total up to 90.
I mean, they're safe and they're safe, isn't there? You would think for a caver, it might have taken more risks.
Yeah.
I could never go caving.
No. No. Pat, would you go caving?
Oh, no. Gosh, no.
I think that's the right answer. Pat, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Pat.
I'm retired now, but I used to work in civil aviation. I was an airport operations officer. And since we're retired, we like to go caravanning. We've got a touring caravan.
Do you go abroad caravanning?
We haven't, actually. We tend to go to the Northwest Highlands or the lakes or the Dales.
Very nice.
Somewhere like that, yes.
Very nice. But it's a travelling caravan, so
Yes.
you take it with you.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. You know exactly where you are. You know where everything lives.
Well, this is true. And if we go north, we keep out of everybody's way. We're not clogging up the roads.
Oh, that's so nice. Considerate.
Of course.
Caravanners. Very good. And where was the airport that you worked at?
At Blackpool.
I see. Is that a sort of small
Yes, it is just a small regional airport.
regional airport? OK, now, Pat, you are on 68. You need to score 21 or less.
Well, I'm hoping that Colombo to Kandy, being Sri Lanka, will help.
Sri Lanka, says Pat, for Colombo to Kandy. Let's see if that's right. Here's your red line. Get below that. Through you go. Look at that, you're through. Very well done indeed. 21 needed, 19 got. Takes your total up to 87.
Beautifully played, yeah, very beautiful country as well. In Kandy, they have a sacred relic, which is a tooth of the Buddha, which is in a gold casket. But you can't. But they then put that gold casket in 6 other gold caskets, so you can't see the tooth. But they say it's there.
An awful lot of gold.
There's a lot of gold.
I think that would sort of, yeah.
It's the Buddha's tooth, though, for goodness'
Well, it's the
sake.
Buddha's, I know, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe some thick glass.
I feel sorry for the Buddha because maybe he didn't get £1 for it when
It sounds like he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Richard. Now, James.
Hi.
James, welcome. Good to have you
Very
here,
much.
James. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I work in the NHS. I work as an HR assistant. I currently work at Doncaster and Bassetlaw hospitals. Been doing that for about 9 months now.
What do you do in your spare time, James?
If any sports on TV, I'll watch it. If you take me out anywhere, I play a lot of golf at the minute. I try and get out on the course whenever I can. Play with my dad. Get beaten generally because he spends his life there. And whatever else I can really from time to time.
And whose idea was it to come on the show?
I think it was more mine, but to be honest, my dad will sit there and watch Pointless every single night.
Do you watch together quite often?
Well, not anymore because I moved out.
You're in Doncaster, of course.
We did when I was doing my master's degree. We'd sit down every night to the point where my mum wasn't allowed to put dinner on the table until a minute after Pointless had finished. So bang on 6 o'clock, food comes out on the table.
So our theme music was basically the pinger. There,
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Very good. Now, James, 39 is where you are. 50 or less is your target. I mean, that, I would hope, is easily achievable. Do you fancy talking us through this board?
Well, I think I know 3 of them. So Amsterdam to Oldenzaal would be the Netherlands. Rabat to Tangier, I'd say, was Morocco. Fairly sure on that one. And Milan to Naples is obviously Italy. If you had to push me on the other one, I would say perhaps it's Germany, maybe Sweden at a push. But I think I'll go with Rabat to Tangier and I'll go with Morocco.
Morocco, says James. Here is your red line. Get below that red line and you are through to round 2. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Morocco. Well done. You're through. Very good indeed. 36. Takes your total up to 75.
Some great answering again in this round. Again, we cleared up all the lower scorers on the board, which is terrific stuff. The 36 just is better than the Oldenburg and Hornstein, which is Germany. 37 for that. You're quite right about the Amsterdam one. It's the Netherlands. Would have scored you 74. All of these would have seen you knocked out here because Milan to Naples would have been 82 as well. So well played.
Thanks, Richard. Well, we find ourselves at the end of our first round. That means we have to say goodbye to a pair. And Liz and Laurie, I'm afraid once again, you are our first pair to leave. But it's been great having you, albeit briefly, on both shows. But thank you so much for playing. Liz and Laurie.
Thank you. Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. And there we are. Down to 3 pairs. Very well done. You made it through that round pretty well. Pat was the lowest scorer of our surviving players in that first round, so well done to you. Matthew and Laura, our lowest combined scorers in that round. So well done to you. And James and Andrew, just well done. Just great to have you here. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is classical music. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many instruments in Mahler's 8th Symphony as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for the name of any individual instrument that's required for the score of Mahler's 8th Symphony. I believe they call it the Symphony of 1,000. Sometimes it's one of the largest orchestral ensembles needed for any symphony. Orchestral instruments, right?
Orchestral instruments.
I bet you know Mahler's 8th.
I do know Mahler's Eighth.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
How's it go?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sing it now. I think it's going to be too hard.
Is it better or worse than Lou Bega's Mambo No. 5?
It's longer.
Oh, OK.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of Monica, don't get me wrong, is a good thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of Mahler's Eight is also a good thing, I would say. Yeah. Now then, James. We're looking for any instrument required to play Mahler's Eighth Symphony.
Yes. This is not good. Oh, no. I'm going to have to go for a punt here and try and get something low, because anything I can think of, I think... All right, let's go for it then. I will go for a bassoon.
A bassoon, says James. Let's see how many of our 100 people said bassoon. There is a bassoon in Mahler's Eighth Symphony. And down it goes to 14. Well done. Well done. 14 for bassoon.
See, they're probably good players today, aren't they? Because even on that, you know, just not panicking is the key and trying to come up with one of those mid-level ones. It's hard to play the bassoon, right? These are all 10 fingers and thumbs. The way I play the bassoon, I have to start using toes halfway through.
Now, Pat.
Well, it's going to be a guess. Cor anglais.
Cor anglais, says Pat. This is nice, sticking with the double reed instruments. Nice, like the pattern. Let's see how many of our 100 people said cor anglais. Cor anglais is right. Interesting to see. Bassoon on 14. Where does cor anglais end up? Passes 14. It goes down to 2. Look at that, Pat. She gives us Sri Lanka. She gives us cor anglais. She's unstoppable.
Pat did not come here to muck about today, did she? That's very, very good. Yeah, also called the English horn, even though it's neither English nor a horn.
I know. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Laura.
OK, so mine's going to be a guess as well. I've never heard it before, so the most obscure one I can think of at the minute would be piccolo.
Piccolo. The piccolo, says Laura. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people went for that. It's right. Well, 14 for bassoon, 16 for piccolo.
Another good answer. It's all been woodwind so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel like you know more about this round. That doesn't happen often.
Yeah, well, no, it really doesn't, actually. No, for once on Terra Firma.
Yeah, we should swap places. We won't, because last time that happened, it was a disaster.
Disaster.
But,
oh, dear. I was so overwhelmed by having a chair.
I was so overwhelmed with having to wear trousers.
So far, I've got totally used to you being naked from the waist down. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Taken my stride. OK, let's have a look at the scores halfway through the round. 2, very well done. Pat and Ted looking very, very strong at this stage. 14, James and Andrew. 16, Laura and Matthew. Matthew, tiny bit ahead, as you can see. But, yeah, nice, clever bit of judicious answering from you in this next pass might keep you in here and let you get through to the head-to-head. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Matthew, we are looking for the name of any instrument required to play Mahler's Eighth Symphony.
The guys are really good, so I'm thinking I'm just going to take a chance on something. If it's red, I'd imagine it would be obscure and would score low. Mandolin.
Mandolin. Interesting. I wonder. Mandolin. Well, there you are on 16. You're the high scorers. As you say, you had to take a bit of a punt here. There's no red line for you. But let's see. Mandolin could be there. Let's find out. It is there, Matthew. Down to 1. I thought I was going to be pointless for a moment. Very well done indeed. 1 for mandolin. Takes your total up to 17.
This is great stuff, isn't it?
That's exciting.
Blimey. I tell you, the look on Andrew's face when he realised that was right. Yeah, mandolin. The only instrument in the orchestra to rhyme with one of Henry VIII's wives.
That's nice. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, Ted. Ted, there you are on 2. If you can score 14 or less, The head-to-head awaits.
How do you follow that? We'll have to go for viola.
Viola, says Ted. OK, viola. Here is your red line. Get below that with viola. And there you go, into the head-to-head. How many of our 100 people said viola? It's right. Down it goes to 39. Takes your total up to 41.
But the nice thing there, Ted, is that made Andrew look slightly happier.
So then, Andrew, we're looking for any orchestral instrument required to play Mahler's 8th Symphony. There you are, on 14. You have to score 26 or less with this.
OK, so this is a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
Tuba.
Tuba. I like the way Andrew made a sort of tuba player's face just after he said tuba. 14 is what you're on. There is your red line. If you get below that with tuba, through you go to the head-to-head. How many of our 100 people said tuba? You've done it, tuba. Oh, just 24. Taking your total up to 38. Well done, Andrew.
Yeah, great round from everyone there. Very well played. Should we test you a little bit on these?
Yes, go on.
There's quite a few low scorers left if you want to have a go at a few.
I'm going to go for the contrabassoon.
Contrabassoon is a pointless answer. Very
Oh,
well done.
how about there we go. That's good.
And there are only 2 pointless answers. Should I go through some low scorers for you and you can tell me which ones I don't know? So timpani, I know that's 14. Triangle would have scored 9. Organ 5. Glockenspiel 3. Bass clarinet would have scored you 2. Tam-tam?
Tam-tam is a gong. You know the gong at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody?
OK.
That's
a
just
tam-tam.
to remind people what it sounds like. So that's a tam-tam.
Would have scored you 2 points.
Yeah.
1 for bells and also 1 for Celesta.
A celeste, that's it's you know Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter's played on a celeste. It's like a keyboard, but it's got a little. The Sugar Plum Fairies often played. on
OK.
it.
This is good. This is interesting, isn't it?
It sounds a little bit like a glockenspiel, but it's it's a sweeter sort of.
I know exactly the thing you mean. And the other pointless answer, apart from contrabassoon, was the harmonium.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our second round, we have to say goodbye to another pair, Ted and Pat, Pat and Ted. Ped and Tat, as I said earlier, when you weren't listening, luckily. I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you. Lovely having you here. Pat, you have covered yourself in glory. I don't know what you've covered yourself in, Ted, but... in a lovely shirt. That's what you've covered yourself in. Lovely having you here. We'll see you again next time, and I'm sure you'll do even better. But thanks very much for playing. Pat and Ted. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it is now time for our head-to-head. Congratulations, Matthew, Laura, James and Andrew. You're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, currently standing at £1,000. Now, this is the head-to-head. As you know, the first pair to win 2 questions in this will go through to the final and play for that jackpot.
Hard to call it, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I know. Very impressive. These are both teams that have knocked Pat out, which is very impressive after what she's done.
Ted took a hand in knocking Pat out, I'd say.
Yes, I think Ted. But to be fair to Ted, in any normal show, they would have been sailing through.
Oh, they
so
would.
we've got 2 very strong pairs here. I'm looking forward to this very
strong.
much.
Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns events of the 1940s. Richard.
We're going to show you some pictures now of events of the 1940s. We'll also show you some letters that make up those events as well. What are the events, please?
Thank you very much. Let's reveal our set of pictures. Here they come. We have got A, F-O-R-T-O-I-G, introduced 1940. B, V-C-O-Y-P-R-D, in London, 1946. C, D-A-S-A-S-R-L-S, excavated 1949. D, B-V-R-D-E-R-P-R, published 1942. And E, P-I-C-C-A-L-S, christening 1948. There we are. OK, now, Matthew and Laura, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first. Feel free to confer.
Okay, what do you think would be the lowest? Dead Sea Scrolls. I know Dead Sea Scrolls. I know Prince Charles's christening. I know it was at the Victory Parade in London. And I don't know the other two. What about you?
I knew B, but I think C would be a good one there. I haven't got
Sea Scrolls? Yeah.
OK,
Okay.
Laura and Matthew.
Okay, I think we're going to go for C, please, and it's the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The Dead
excavated.
Sea Scrolls, say Laura and Matthew. James and Andrew, what would you like to go for? Do you want to talk us through the rest of the board?
Yeah, so I'm assuming E is Prince Charles's christening. B would be Victory Parade. A, sure when it pops up, or no. D, I could take a stab at because I'm assuming it's the something report.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Okay, so you know what it is.
D. D.
You go ahead. You take the answer.
It's a punt. The beverage report.
You're going to go for D, Beverage Report.
Beverage
OK,
Report.
Beverage Report and
Apparently
Dead
so.
Sea Scrolls. So, Matthew and Laura said Dead Sea Scrolls for C. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. $59. James and Andrew, meanwhile, have gone for the Beverage Report. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that for D. Well done. Well done. You pipped it with the Beverage Report there. 18. Good work, James and Andrew. Father and son working perfectly as a team there.
Yeah, best answer up there as well, 18 points. That's the answer of a man who spent 40 years working for the NHS as well. Beverage Report, it's set the preconditions for most of our welfare state as we know it today, including the NHS. A, which is the one you weren't sure of. Zon, do you know that one?
Food rationing.
Food rationing introduced, of course. That would have scored you 45 points. B, everyone knew this, Victory Parade in London. Would have scored you 72. And you were quite right, there's Prince Charles's christening. And that would have scored you 80.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, so well done, James and Andrew, up 1-0. Here is your second question. Matthew and Laura, you have to win this one to stay in the game. Remember, James and Andrew get to answer it first, so yeah, be on your toes here. Our second question today is all about Matt LeBlanc. Richard.
Yeah, 5 clues to facts relating in some way to Matt LeBlanc coming up.
OK, let's reveal our 5 clues. Here they come. We have got the decade in which he was born, the surname of his character Joey in Friends, the model who guest starred in Friends as Joey's roommate Janine, the name of Joey's character in the soap Days of Our Lives, and the band whose 2000 music video Say It Isn't So LeBlanc appeared in. Let me read those again. The decade in which he was born, the surname of his character Joey in Friends, the model who guest starred in Friends as Joey's roommate Janine, the name of Joey's character in the soap Days of Our Lives, and the band whose 2000 music video Say It Isn't So LeBlanc appeared in. There we are. James and Andrew, you get to go first.
All right, let's take a guess at the decade in which he was born. Say 1960s.
OK, you're going to go for that, 1960s. Matthew and Laura.
Okay, so
Surname is Tribbiani.
Tribbiani. Model is Elle McPherson. Name of Joey's character in Days of Our Lives was Dr. Drake Ramore. And I don't know the last one.
Focus on those 3. I mean, if that decade's right, we'll maybe go for Elle McPherson, do you think?
That or Drake Ramore, I think might be the...
Dr. Drake.
But I don't know which one would be lower. Maybe what do you think?
Go for the model.
Okay. We're going to go for Elle McPherson.
OK, Elle McPherson. So, we have the 1960s and we have Elle McPherson. James and Andrew went for the 1960s, the decade he was born in. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that.
That's right, well done.
Down it goes to 26. Not bad at all. Meanwhile, Matthew and Laura have gone for Elle McPherson as Janine. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Ooh, 27. 27. Which means James and Andrew, very well done indeed. You win that point, and that means after only 2 questions, you're straight through to the final 2-0.
Yeah, he was born in 1967. I think a lot of people would have said 70s for Matt LeBlanc. Yeah. And you're wondering whether to go for Elle Macpherson or Dr. Drake Ramore. Dr. Drake Ramore was correct. Would have scored you 14 points.
It's okay.
That is going to be an interesting train journey home, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's not like she's your younger sister or anything, is it? And, ooh.
Buy me a drink tonight.
That is bragging rights. I mean, every Christmas now for so many years. Let's fill the rest of these in. The surname is the biggest scorer. That is Tribbiani. It scored you 38. The best answer on the board is the band. Very well done at home if you knew this. I didn't know this one. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi, 3 points for that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Matthew and Laura, I'm sorry, our golden couple. You performed so well right across the show. And now this. But it's been lovely having you on. Thank you so much for coming to play. Matthew and Laura, everyone, thanks. But for James and Andrew, it is now time for our Pointless Final. Well, congratulations, James and Andrew. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,000. Well, very well done. What do you want to see come up in this next round that's going to help you?
Sports-related.
Sports-related.
Football, preferably.
And really, when you say anything, how obscure can the sports get? Before
Pretty obscure.
OK. As always, you get to choose your category from the 4 we put up on the board. Let's see what today's selection looks like. We've got dinosaurs, 2007 film comedies, Mary Queen of Scots, and short stories.
See, I'm tempted by short stories because it could be Roald Dahl, but I don't know what you prefer on that.
No, I'm quite happy to go with you if you fancy short stories, and that's fine by me.
Short stories.
You're going to go for short stories, Richard.
OK, best of luck, gents. 3 different authors for you here. We're looking for any of the following, please. We're looking for any of the short stories of Mark Twain, as collected in Penguin's Complete Short Stories in 2012. We're looking for any of the short stories contained in Dubliners by James Joyce, or we're looking for the title of any short story or novella by Stephen King, according to his own website in March 2019. So, Mark Twain short stories in Dubliners, or any short story or novella by Stephen King. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. You don't have to answer all 3 categories, just focus on whichever category or categories you like. Are you ready?
Ready as we'll ever be on that one.
OK, well, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
No, I know nothing by Mark Twain aside from Adventures of
Huckleberry Finn is...
Is it a short story?
Yeah, wow.
But James Joyce, I know nothing. Stephen King, the only things I can think of are like Misery, It. They're now thinking of his longer ones, so that wouldn't be novellas, they're more the actual books. We stick with the horror ones. If there's anything else, Stephen King, do you know?
No,
So Misery, It, Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
I think that's it, to be perfectly honest. If we go for those 3, I would be so surprised if any of them come off.
OK.
But those are the only 3 I can think of.
I can't think of anything. It's not my strongest subject at all.
Yeah, it is.
At all.
Yeah, fair enough. OK, I think we'll stick with that, and that we've got 3 to go.
Yep. OK, happy for us to stop the clock. OK, we will do that and take your 3 answers. So what are you going to give me?
Well, we're not even sure if they're short stories or anything, but we'll go for It by Stephen King.
It.
Misery by Stephen King.
Misery.
And Pet Sematary by Stephen King.
Pet Sematary. Of the 3, is the one you want to nominate as your best shot at a pointless answer?
We'll put Pet Sematary up there.
Pet Sematary we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless?
It.
It, and then Misery goes in the middle. OK. Well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then. And here they are. It, Misery, Pet Sematary. OK, well, 3 answers there. It wasn't the best category for you, but very, very best of luck. If one of these were to turn out to be a winning answer and a pointless answer, what would you like to do with that jackpot money, James?
Well, I'll probably go on holiday. I mean, if £1,000 between us, actually, we could probably put it towards potentially eventually going to the Masters or Augusta. I'd quite like to do that.
Andrew?
I said I'd give it to James.
Oh, that's nice. Very good. OK, so in the first instance, we were looking for... In fact, sorry, in all three instances, we're looking for short stories or novellas by Stephen King. Your first answer was It. Let us find out if that is a pointless answer and if it will win you £1,000. Let's see how many people said It. Oh, bad luck. No, I'm afraid not a novella or short story. Let us turn to your next answer, Misery. Once again, we're looking for Stephen King, novellas or short stories. How many of our 100 people said Misery? Is it a right answer? Will it win you £1,000? How many people said Misery? Bad luck. Bad luck. Let's try your third and final answer, which was Pet Sematary. Again, we're looking for Stephen King short stories or novellas. If this is right, if it is pointless, you will leave here with £1,000. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. But the crucial thing is it right? Pet Sematary. Oh, bad luck. Bad luck. Well, in a really tough category, you know, you did well. You found three answers at least, but I'm afraid you didn't manage to find that all-important, correct, or indeed pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £1,000. That'll roll over to the next time. But it's been lovely having you here. Really enjoyed having you. So thank you so much for playing. And in recognition of how well you've done, you get to take home a pointless trophy each. So there we are. Excellent. Richard?
Yeah, all three of those are novels, I'm afraid. All Stephen King, so that's something. All novels. Let's take a look at the different categories. We'll start with Mark Twain. Here's a few. Hear a Horse's Tale, A Story Without End, The Man That Corrupted Hadleyburg, and The £1 Million banknote. Everything in that collection, the complete short stories, apart from A Dog's Tale, Luck, and The Notorious Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. Everything else was a pointless answer, so well done if you got another one. Let's move on to James Joyce. Dubliners. There's only 3 pointless answers here. A Mother, A Painful Case, and Ivy Day in the Committee Room. Well done if you got any of those. And short stories and novellas by Stephen King. I mean, there's 50-odd pointless answers. I mean, there's all sorts of pointless answers. I'll go through a few and then I'll tell you anything that scored points. 1408 is a pointless answer. Grammar, Graveyard Shift, that's terrifying. The Lawnmower Man turned into a film. That everything pointless there apart from Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption, that's the biggest scorer. The Mist, The Body, Children of the Corn, Elevation, The Langoliers, 1922, Gwendy's Button Box, and The Man Who Loved Flowers. Everything else is a pointless answer, so well done if you got one.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And thanks so much, James and Andrew. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.